With a Game 2 loss to the Texas Rangers, the Mariners' playoff hopes are dwindling. The Mariners still are very much in this race, but losing 2 to the Rangers, this is really looking like the division is not for the Mariners to win. The wild card is still there. Let's break it all down here in the Mojo postgame show of Game 2 down in Arlington, where the Mariners lost 2-0. This game was ugly. And I don't mean ugly as in like the Mariners gave up 8 runs and were trailing by 8. I mean, this game was just stupid. Plain stupid. The Texas Rangers scored 2 runs on some of the worst but most well-placed hits I've ever seen in my life. I think they were combined like 120 miles an hour combined between the two of them. A little dinker down the first baseline and a little dinker into left field. That is how the Texas Rangers won this baseball game. Meanwhile, Dylan Moore came this close to hitting a ball out to center field, and Cal Raleigh almost scored 2 with a double into the gap in center field as well. A ball that had a 620 expected batting average, and somehow Leody Taveras ran it down. I'm not going to say that the Rangers didn't deserve this win because they played well. The Rangers did play good baseball, and the Mariners didn't, plain and simple. But Logan Gilbert did his job. The bullpen did their job. The defense, for the most part, did their job. Cal Raleigh throwing out another runner. Jose Caballero backing up a botched play by Ty France. It was the offense for the Mariners, like it has been for most of the season, that just couldn't come through. And honestly, it looked pretty good. I think I even tweeted in like the 4th or 5th inning that the Mariners were in a much better spot, and they proceeded to give Jordan Montgomery some easy innings the rest of the way, and he threw 7. That's exactly what you cannot be doing against the Texas Rangers. You cannot allow them to pitch. You cannot allow their starters to pitch into the 7th inning with how bad their bullpen is. We saw it with Chapman. We saw it with Leclerc. Those are the 2 guys that pitched the 8th and the 9th inning, and the Mariners almost came back. Look, you need to get that started out as early as possible. I don't give a damn if you have to take until you have 2 strikes on you. Sit in the box and don't swing the bat. That's as plain and simple as it is. Sit in the box, don't swing the bat until you at least get a strike on you because the Rangers bullpen is that bad. You need to get to them early. You cannot allow Jordan Montgomery to go 7. You just can't. And Scott talked yesterday about how the Mariners got away from their game plan, and it looked like they had found it for the first 4 or so innings, and then all of a sudden they were like, nah. Who needs a game plan? Overall, I know. I just finished watching the game. I'm angry. I'm angry. Just like you are, I'm sure, watching this. And I think that we all do need to take a breather because these last 10 games are going to be super stressful, as we all knew. There are 8 games left. The Mariners dropped the first 2. They still have 3 versus the Astros and another 4 versus the Rangers at the end of the year at home. Keep in mind, the ball that Dylan Moore hit and the ball that Cal Raleigh hit, they would have been home runs at home. The Mariners would have won this game 3-2 if everything played out the exact same, but they were at home. That's all there is to it. The Mariners would have won the game 3-2. Anyway, the division, it's squeaking away from the Mariners. And to be honest, it's not a huge surprise. Obviously, we knew that they were in this thing, and they still are at this point. If you do get swept by the Rangers, you're probably not going to win the division. The wild card is still there for the taking, though, because the Toronto Blue Jays lost today. And as of right now, at the time of recording this, the Astros are losing. Please, Kansas City, hold that lead. And then you're still a half game out from the Astros for the 3rd wildcard spot and a game out from the Blue Jays for the 2nd wildcard spot. There's still a chance for the Mariners to make the playoffs. It's not gone by any means. But let's break down what happened more in this game. And first, let's take a look at the batting lines for the Mariners today. And let's talk about one thing that Scott Servais did that really irks me. I know that we are usually Scott Servais apologists, but we're going to call him out on some BS. And the fact that Jared Kelenic was not in the lineup today was BS. He got on base all 5 times yesterday. He pinch hit today, got on base again. Scott, I don't give a damn about these matchups. Put your best guys in there. I don't care. Jared Kelenic has been better versus lefties. Jordan Montgomery has reverse splits this year. What the hell are you doing sitting one of your best players right now for, what, Sam Haggerty? Like, really? Sam Haggerty is the guy you're putting in left field? It makes no sense whatsoever. Let's go over the Mariners batting lines. Again, if you are watching this and I'm just making you even more angry, I am so sorry. I'm just fresh off of this and I'm voicing my frustrations. Let's go take a look at the batting line. Now, I know people are going to act like Ty France wasn't the only one to have a multi-hit game, but Ty France was the only one to have a multi-hit game. Otherwise, JP, Julio, and Teo had a hit today. Dylan Moore with a base knock as well, and then JK and Sam Haggerty with a walk. Otherwise, that was it. For the Rangers, Adolis Garcia scored both runs. He had a big stolen base that helped him score from second earlier on in the ball game. Leody Taveras had 2 hits. Adolis again had 2 hits. Corey Seager with 1 hit as well. Rangers had 7 hits, the Mariners had 6. But the real problem is when we look at this pitching line right here. Jordan Montgomery, 7 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 6. Logan pitched relatively well. He did walk 4, which was crazy to see. I think Jim Wolf kind of had a rough night behind the plate anyway, but Logan, just especially in that last inning, could not find it. He only struck out 2. Overall, the Mariners pitchers did their job. Matt Brash and Justin Topa were both used. You should have Andres Munoz tomorrow, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to be able to see like Topa go tomorrow. Gabe Spire should be good to go as well, with Brian Wu on the mound. I voiced my frustrations. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you can find a way to forgive me for normally being, the guy who's like, hey, hey, we have a chance still. But this, I don't know. This game irked me. It was really tough to watch, but honestly, it was a better game to watch than the day before, I think. I don't really know. The offense was just so bad today and yesterday for that matter. Going into game 3, you just have to hope you salvage a game. Brian Woot needs to go deep. You're facing Nathan Eovaldi, who has been hit around quite a bit lately, especially coming off of the injured list. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You should have your lefties in the lineup tomorrow with Canzone, Rojas, and Kelnick. For the love of God, put Kelnick in. Honestly, start Mike Ford over at first base. I think he deserves it as well. So I don't know what else to say about this Mariners team right now. They're still in it. Again, especially if the Astros lose, you're a half game out from them and a game out from the Blue Jays, and I think you hold the tiebreaker over both. Mariners have a chance. They still do, especially with the Astros coming in. The Astros have a chance to get swept by the Kansas City Royals should they lose today. The Mariners are in a tough spot, but it's not impossible. So stick with us here. Again, we're going to be trying to do this post-game show after every game, at least until the Mariners are out of it. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners.